Welcome back. I hope you've had a chance to rest your mind a bit and you're ready to learn about chord progressions. Chord progressions are what typically will describe the emotional story of a song over time. The chords create the basis for a melody and can be considered the harmonic blueprint of an entire piece of music. As you know, there's a lot of pre-learning to get to this topic, but now that you know about pitches, scales, and chords, you're well equipped to start experimenting with this crucial building block of music. Circling back to the last video when we learned the degrees of a scale written in Roman numerals, you can now read and utilize readily available information about the harmonic content of your favorite music, specifically the chord progressions used in those songs. A fantastic resource I like to use when I'm studying a beloved favorite is a website called hooktheory.com. This website displays the chord patterns of a huge number of popular and some less than popular music, and you can even download the MIDI information as well. So looking at the list of popular chord progressions, we can see that an astounding number of very popular songs use the chord progression I, V, VI, IV, or in other words, 1, 5, 6, 4, in the scale of C major. Let's look at another popular chord progression like the VI, V, IV, V, or 6, 5, 4, 5, used by artists like Madonna, Oasis, Guns N' Roses, wow, lots of artists. This is obviously a tried, tested, and true chord progression for pop music. Of course, if we wanted to, we could save some time constructing these chord progressions by just simply downloading the MIDI information, but it's in your best interest at this point to practice building these chord progressions manually just for a while until you grasp these concepts fully. So let's build these chord progressions from scratch using the C major scale. So first we'll create a major scale on our piano roll using the major scale interval pattern whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. We get C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Now, let's build the chords that are available in this scale, starting with the root triad, C major. We'll add a note 4 semitones above the root to find the third, and then 3 semitones above that to find the fifth. So our first chord is C, E, G. Now let's repeat the process for the next note in the scale. D, skip a degree to F, then from F, skip a degree to A. The next is D, F, A. Let's keep going. So the chords we have in the key of C major are 1, C major, 2, D minor, 3, E minor, 4, F major, 5, G major, 6, A minor, 7, B diminished. Now that we have these chords, let's apply the chord progression. So a 6, 5, 4, 5 chord progression in the key of C major would be A minor, G major, F major, and G major. Let's arrange these chords in a handy way before we make the next progression. I'll start by duplicating the clip I made that contains all of the triad chords in the key of C major. I'll do this 7 times so I have a clip for each degree of the scale. I'll now name each clip the degree of the scale just to stay organized. And you'll learn a lot about clips and naming and all of this useful information later on in the core production course, so don't worry too much about knowing how to do what I'm showing you now. You'll learn it all in great detail. Now that I've named each of these clips, I'm going to adjust the start position of each one so that when I trigger them, they'll play the correct chord. Now that this is set up, we can easily play any chord progression in C major. So the 6-5-4-5 progression sounds like this. Let's try a 1-5-6-4 progression now. Cool. I encourage you to revisit this crash course as you become familiar with Ableton Live, to apply these techniques on your own and experiment with different possible chord combinations. Eventually, you'll begin to discover progressions and chord voicings that you really like. Once you make these realizations that, will only come from lots of practice, you'll be better equipped to create music intentionally. Okay, so we've almost covered all of the fundamentals of music theory for electronic music producers. And in the next video, I'd like to introduce you to a few new chord voicings before moving on to rhythm. See you there.